All right, guys. Hello. Let's see who is on the line. Hey, Josh, how are you? All right, good afternoon, everyone, and thank you so much for coming back for another amazing episode of Real Deal Meetup on Periscope TV. Of course, it's your girl Queen. Hey, Ish, how are you? For everybody who's on the line, I know you guys missed me last week, so if you missed me, double tap on the screen because I missed you guys too. And I see Tamika, Mastermind student, on the line. Thank you guys so much. So, of course, on behalf of the Real Deal Meetup community and Charles Blair, the mad scientist himself, we want to welcome you guys back. Today, we have an amazing episode because we're going to be speaking with actually one of our sponsors directly, Lima Capital, in reference to their loan packages that they offer. So I know everybody who's on the line is super hype. For you guys who actually are not aware of why I'm even on the screen, why you're even listening to me, why we have a ton of people on the line right now. Our group, Real Deal Meetup, we're the third largest real estate meetup in the nation. So that's in the United States, guys. Lamar, yes, they are hard money lenders, so this is going to be a great episode for you. So Real Deal Meetup, we're the third largest real estate meetup in the nation. So you can go onto therealdealmeetup.com if you're ready to be a real dealer. I don't know. Some people are just like dibbling and dabbling in real estate, so they really don't know what they want to do. But for those of you who are serious about real estate investing, definitely make sure you go onto the website. Just go through all the free tools and tips that we have. Charles Blair, he's actually the founder of the Real Deal Meetup, and he gives out all free content. So this is really just a give back in terms of all the success that Charles has. He started the Real Deal Meetup really to be a give back to the real estate community so that they have success just as he has. So I saw a question on the line that says, is that wholesaling real estate? So we do have a multitude of people in our group. So some are commercial real estate investors, fix and flip, wholesale, buy and hold, all of that. So on today's episode, we're going to be speaking actually with the director of business development. So pretty big deal. And he's going to be going over different ways in which Lima Capital offers these loan packages to you all and what it takes to qualify, and definitely for any of the questions that I know a lot of us on the in the audience will have, because I know I definitely have questions myself. Like when I first got started, I had no idea who to go to in terms of financing. I thought everybody was going to turn me down because I never did a rehab before. So I'm like, why would anybody trust giving me money if I never did a rehab, right? So for all of you on the line who have been thinking that, or even if you've been doing a couple of fix and flips and you just want to figure out a new way of gaining some capital, we're definitely going to be answering those questions. And I see Beauty and the Beast just joined in as well. Thank you so much, guys. If you have your Periscope connected to your Twitter, definitely make sure you go ahead and share this broadcast for all the other real dealers and people who are investing in real estate. They really should be here, because I mean, even if you're not there yet to the point where you know you need to go out and get a lender, you need to know what a lender is looking for in order to go ahead and qualify you. And of course, Dwayne shared it on Twitter. Dwayne, you're awesome. You're always on the line. And I think I just saw you add me on Facebook too. Thank you so much. All right, so I'm going to be tuning in Courtney. Courtney is actually in North Carolina, and he took time out of his day to go ahead and interview with us. So make sure you double tap. If you guys don't know what Heart It Up means, that means you just double tap on the screen. We were at 105 last time. I see the orange hearts coming in. Thank you so much. Hey, Gwen, how are you? So double tap on the screen, and that's how you heart it up. We're at 105,000 hearts. I want to get us to 106 by the end of the episode. I don't know if that's going to happen. I don't know if you guys like me. Maybe you like Courtney. I'm not too sure. And I see Vincent just joined in as well. Thank you so much, Vincent. So I'm going to turn the camera over. We're actually live streaming. And thank you so much, Lamar, for sharing it on Twitter. I'm going to turn the screen around since we're actually live streaming, since Courtney is out of the state. Courtney, are you ready for us?
I'm ready.
All right. Awesome. Hold on one second. All right, Courtney, you there?
I'm here.
All right, awesome. Well, thank you so much. Let me take myself off so you guys can't see me. All right. So how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you doing today?
I'm doing phenomenal. Well, first of all, we got this set up here for you to do Periscope. So, I mean, this was our way of getting you in. So, I'm really hyped that you actually took the time to do the interview with us today. So, thank you so much.
Oh, no problem at all. I love helping real estate investors. I'm a real estate investor myself, so I love doing stuff.
Cool. So, you're actually in North Carolina today, correct?
I am in North Carolina today, correct. I'm in Charlotte right now.
Okay. Now, you're usually stationary where?
I'm back and forth. Our home office is in Greenville, South Carolina.
Okay.
With my business, director of business development, I travel all over the country speaking on behalf of the company and also working with our sales team throughout the United States as well.
Okay.
But where I personally invest myself is in Atlanta, Georgia.
Is in Atlanta, Georgia. Okay, cool. And I see it's Leah just joined in as well. Thank you guys so much. So now I'm going to be asking Courtney a few questions that we had from some of the audience members from before. So now if you have any questions that pop up while he's doing the presentation, definitely make sure you put it inside of the comment box and try to do it while I'm speaking, because if Courtney's speaking, of course, I'm not going to interrupt him, but try to do it while I'm speaking, and then I'll make sure to get to your question. So, of course, first, for those who don't know who Lima Capital is, can you please just give like a brief description of who Lima Capital is? Like, you guys are not located in Peru. I got that question a couple of times. And what is it that you guys do?
Okay, Lima One Capital is Lima One Capital, and the company is a hard money lender. And I don't really like the term hard money anymore, is because it's real derogatory.
Yeah.
We're not trying to be loan sharks. So we're really trying to help real estate investors get to the point where they can fix and flip properties, and we also have a buy and hold property. So we're like a hybrid lender because we're a hybrid between the bank and private lender that are your source or the best source for money. So we're right there between those two. So I really don't like the term hard money anymore. But we've been around in the game for 5.5 years.
Okay.
Our CEO and founder, John Warren, he was a former infantry officer, and he did 2 tours of Ramadi, Iraq. He led First Platoon Lima Company, and so that's how the name Lima One became derived. So it's not something in Peru where it comes from. That's how the name of the company was derived. And he just built the company based on his principles that he learned in the military and being in the infantry. And we stand by those principles, like being straightforward. We're not trying to bait and switch customers. We're here to help. And our first principle is standing on customer service and making sure that real estate investors succeed throughout the whole process.
That's awesome. So now, you stated that the company started 5.5 years ago?
That's correct.
Okay, cool. So now, in these 5.5 years, I have to say, I started actively investing in real estate maybe for the last 2 years, but ever since I've been investing, like, I've seen you guys all over the place, like, dominated in terms of, well, I don't know, what do you want to call it, since we're not going to say hard money lenders anymore?
You can say bridge lender, and I like using the term fix and flip loans and buy and hold loans. Okay,
so providers dominating the game in fix and flip loans and buy and hold loans. All right, we're gonna keep it at that. Okay. So now you stated that you also invest yourself. So how long have you been investing in real estate?
I've been investing personally myself for 2.5 years. So I actually worked for the company for 5 years, and I didn't do my flip until 2 years later. I saw all these investors making money, but just like a lot of people have, they have cold feet. And so I got to the point where I was financially in a point where I can put the money down and get a hard money loan, and then also know I have my team around me. Right. And then when I say team, contractors, appraisers, real estate agents, your wholesalers that are going to find the properties for you. And so I was comfortable with my team around me. That's when I stepped forward to do it. So I've done 7 deals and did pretty good. So I'm looking to do 2 more before the end of the year, and my goal next year is to do 15 fix and flips.
15 fix and flips. Wow. Okay, cool. Well, we got to try to dig into your system if you could do 15 fix and flips in a year. And Lamar just said bridge lender. I like that. I do too, because hard money lender, like recently, when you think of hard money lenders now, just because, you know, you have some people who don't have the integrity like Lima One Capital does, they just kind of like salty this a little. So So, okay, cool. Now, the benefits in terms of working with a company such as yours, some people might say, 5.5 years is not a long time, but just from the customer service that I've experienced with Lima One Capital thus far, I would definitely say that they need to reconsider that thought. So what are some of the benefits for real estate investors working with a company like yours?
So I would say first is we have unlimited capital, and I know that sounds strange, but we're backed by a hedge fund and have institutional funding off of Wall Street. So my job itself is to get as many loans out there on the street as possible. So we're definitely looking at helping the customer get those loans. And then two is we provide leverage for our investors. And a lot of the competitors in this market space, you can see them as being copycats of what we do. We're the first company to be able to give 90% loan-to-cost leverage to investors. That means 90% of the money that you need for the purchase and rehab of a property, we're going to give that to you to be able to do that.
Wow.
So we want to do that. And I think we also underwrite the deal. We're going to make sure it's a good deal. So right. I've had a deal before where a wholesaler has brought me the deal. They said it's going to appraise for this much. Like, say if I'm buying it at 110 and I'm putting 70 into it, and it's going to appraise at 250. Hey, that's good. I'm all in at 180. But if it comes back, the appraisal didn't come back in at 250. It actually came back in at 200. That's a bad deal for me. Right. So we're going to help you underwrite the deal and make sure that we land on a good deal so that you're not getting into a project where you lose money. I would rather you lose $400 for an appraisal than lose $30,000 on the back end of a project.
Gotcha. Well, cool. Let's actually talk about that now that you brought up, in terms of a wholesaler bringing you a deal, because all my wholesalers on the line, definitely make sure you double tap on the screen, because this is for the people who wholesale deals. I wholesale a lot of deals, but the number one thing that I feel as though stops a lot of wholesalers from selling as many deals or opportunities is the fact that the numbers are not right. So let's say if a wholesaler wanted to work with a company such as yours just to make sure that their numbers were correct when they go out and market their deal, what would they have to do in order to do that?
I think the first thing is always do your homework. Like, if you get a property under contract, do your homework. Let's say if you get the property under contract for $100,000 and you're trying to sell it for $110 to the end buyer, you're going to make $10,000 on that property if it's a good deal. So do your homework. Get a contractor to go out there and get a good bid on the property, a detailed bid. So don't estimate the repairs. Get a contractor to be able to go out there and do it. And if they're going to do that, then that's going to be a benefit to the back-end investor. They're going to say, oh, you already done your homework. And then make an investment yourself. Pay $400 for a subject to appraisal. Hey, call Lima One up. Who's your go-to appraiser in this area? I want to be able to order appraisal. Make that $400 investment, so when you verify the after repair value on the number, it's going to be easy for you to sell. Think about it. If you go to the Real Deal MeetUp and you say, hey, I have an itemized budget here with the property that I have on the contract, and I have a state-issued appraiser from appraiser that is licensed that verifies the after repair value on the number, it's going to be an easy sell. You don't have to convince the investor that, oh, you need to go out and look at the property and do the homework. All the homework is already done. So instead of you taking 30 days to find an investor, you probably can close that deal in 2 weeks. So that's the best way to be able to work with a lender like ourselves to be able to get the deal already underwritten before you come to us. And we also have what we call transactional funding.
Okay.
I've had this happen before, is where you get a smoking deal. I had a friend up in Charlotte that he used us for transactional funding. Like, he got the property on the contract for $50,000, but he was going to flip it to another investor for $120,000. So he doesn't want to. He doesn't want to show that markup of him making $70,000. So you can use transactional funding in that case, where you're going to be able to close on the property and it's not showing on the HUD what you're making on that deal. So that's when you use transactional funding, and also you're able to sign up for proof of funds there to be able to make offers or show the owners of the houses that you're serious and that you can have verified funds to close on the property.
Wow, you just blew out all the questions that I had for the interview. Okay, so transactional funding, that's a biggie, because I know for those who are actually in the DMV area, you know exactly what I'm talking about. The properties out in PG County and DC specifically, you can make really, really, really great profit in terms of wholesale deals if you get the right deal. So let's say if I have a deal, I'm gonna make $70,000, like your friend in North Carolina. What would be the process of me actually qualifying for that transactional funding?
It's no process. All you have to go to is go to our website, www.limaonecapital.com. Once again, I repeat that, www.limaonecapital.com, and just go apply for a transactional funding. And once you apply for that, it'll probably take anywhere from 24 to 48 hours for underwriter to get back with you, but they're going to be able to issue you a proof of funds letter. With that deal, it's no personal underwriting. We don't have to do that. We do that as a convenience to you to help you out as a wholesaler. But we do charge, when you get ready to use the funds for closing, we do charge 1.75% on the amount borrowed.
Well, that's not bad. That's not bad.
It's not bad at all.
Yeah, compared to, doing a double closing, like 1.75, you can have my 1.75. So, okay. Exactly, Lamar. Everybody's like, wow, 1.75. Yeah, that's not much at all. Now, another question just popped up on the screen from Tony. He asks, how much is it for the proof of funds letter from your company?
It is free proof of funds letter.
Free 99. That's what I like to hear. Okay. So now, and all of that is on, you said, www.Lima One Capital?
Yep, LimaOneCapital.com. And there should be a tab on there. You can click and see transactional funding, and you can apply for that proof of funds letter.
Okay, cool. Now, I know that's not all that you all specialize in. So, like, what are some of the loan types that your company actually specializes in?
Okay, so our first loan type is our bread and butter. This is what we've been doing from day one, and that's our fix and flip loan product. When I first started, we were requiring 20% down, and we were charging 4 points and 13% interest. Ooh. So now we go as low as two points and 9.99% interest on that, and we're giving 90% loans to cost on those products.
Wow.
And so with it, we go up to 70% of ARV, but you're always going to put 10% down if you qualify in that level, 10% down on the total cost. So when I say total cost, I mean the purchase price of the property and the rehab cost.
Okay.
Purchase price and rehab cost. You always going to put 90% down on your total cost or whatever it takes you to do the project.
Okay. That is a biggie. Right-ish. Yeah. Okay. So can you repeat the cost again for everyone who didn't catch that the first time? Because those are really, really, really good rates.
Okay. So our rates start at 3.5 and 12, and they go as low as 2 points and 9.99%. So you graduate from each level based upon the amount of deals that you do. You can come to us and you can be a beginning investor and have not done a rehab ever in your life, and you can still get funding from Lima One Capital.
Okay. So now let's talk about that. Oh, no, go ahead.
No, you're fine. Go ahead. What's the question?
So for an investor who's never done a renovation project before, I can come to you and I can get funding. But let's say, all right, I've proven myself, like I did my first rehab project. Thank you. I graduated. Let me get my rehab diploma. Now I want to come to you guys again. Well, what would be the benefit of me coming to you a second time instead of going to a whole nother company?
So with us, it's always, the process is going to be easier because we're already going to have a file on you. So the only thing that you'll probably have to turn in is updated assets and the stuff on the project, which is your sales contract and the rehab cost. And as you do more and more deals with us, then your rates are going to get low. So in the level one, if you've done 1 to 2 deals, then your rate is 3.5 and 12.
Okay.
Once you do 1 to 2 deals, 2 to 4 deals, then you're at level 2, and you're going to be at 3 points and 11%. And then once you go over 4 completed rehabs with us, or it's not even 4 completed with us, you can be someone else, you did private money or whatever. And then once you graduate and you've done 4 more deals, then you're in level 3, and that's 2 points and 9.99%. So we're always going to work with you, and as long as you're completing deals, whether it's with us or someone else, we're going to be able to graduate you to the next level and be able to get you the best rates possible.
Gotcha. I love it. So it's pretty much like I'm building a relationship with your company, and then through me proving myself, like, you'll give me a hookup then. Okay, cool. Now, also, if I'm looking to qualify myself for a loan, what exactly is it that I would need to show you in order for you to qualify me?
Okay, I get asked this question all the time. So, the first thing that we're looking for is that you have a minimum of a 630 credit score and no foreclosure or bankruptcies in the past 4 years.
Okay.
So that's the first key. The second is that we're looking at you have a minimum of $20,000 liquid as well. So that's for you to do a rehab project. You got to have a minimum of $20,000 liquid. You may not have to use all that $20,000, but we want to say, hey, you have the liquidity and the ability to be able to do a project. So we're looking at you have a minimum of $20,000 liquid. So the qualifications for either where you're going to get the 10% down or the 15% down. If you have a 680 credit score or above, then you're going to be able to put down 10% on your total cost.
Gotcha.
If you have a 680 or below, then you have to put down 15%. But once you do your first 1 or 2 rehabs, once you get past the first level, then you're always going to be putting 10% down, no matter where your credit score lies, as long as it's a minimum of 630.
630. Okay, cool. Now, let's say for somebody, because I know this stopped a lot of people from doing their first rehab. Some people just gave up on, their dreams of rehabbing altogether. And then some just went on into other areas in terms of real estate. So if I don't have those qualifications right now, what would be the best way for me to kind of work my way to get to that level?
I think the best way is partner with someone. If you don't have the deal where you'll be able to do it yourself, partner with someone that has rehab experience, so you're not the only one that will do it, because all of our loans have to be made out to some type of entity. And so if you make an entity that you and a partner, or you or 3 people are part of, and you or 4 people are part of, and all you guys qualify for the loan, then that way it minimizes your risk and you're actually doing it together, so you're not the only sole person that's going to be able out there doing a project. I think that's the best way to do it. My first 2 flips, I did it with my realtor. He brought the deals and we flipped those properties together. So those is always something that you can do, that those lines minimize your risk, and make sure you have an expert or someone, a second set of eyes on the project as well.
Okay, so you're telling me that I can have multiple people on my deal. Like, it just doesn't have to be me. So
yeah, correct.
Okay, so how many people can you actually have on your application?
It's how many people ever you have inside your entity. I've seen people that they've had 10 people, and each person has got 10% of the deal, but it's 10 people inside of the entity.
Wait, are you serious? So like 10 people on one application, everybody.
It was a bugaboo of getting everybody approved, but it was 10 people inside of the entity.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Oh, another question popped up. I did see that question. Can you please let the audience know how many states you're actually located in right now?
We're located in 44 states throughout the U.S. We just expanded to Arizona and California. The only states that we're not lending in and not looking to go in are South Dakota, North Dakota, Alaska, Hawaii, and New York.
Jeez. Okay. Why not New York?
The lending laws are just too...
Gotcha. Okay. And I don't know if anybody is fixing and flipping in Alaska, but if you are, I don't know if they fixing and flipping igloos over there or whatever you call them. But okay, igloos. Thank you for the correction. All right, cool. So now if I have all the qualifications, let's say there's 10 of us that's on the loan application, how quickly can we actually be approved to go ahead and close on our deal?
I'm always put the ball in the borrower's court as much as you can get, as soon as you get the information in to us, and then we'll be able to verify. We can close as soon as 7 to 10 business days. But if the information is lacking from the loan package, then it's going to drag that process out. Okay,
so if I have all and the loan package, can we see exactly what we would need in the loan package beforehand?
Yes, okay. Exactly.
Okay, so as long as we have all the information inside of our loan package, we're sending it over to one of your, I'm not going to say you, I'm not going to put you on the spot, but we're sending,
on the spot. That's fine.
All right, so we're sending our loan package over to Courtney, and 7 to 10 business days for it to be underwritten and for the funds to be wired over to the title company? So
pretty much it's a process. So once you get approved as a borrower, then we'll order the appraisal on the property. Remember, we got to go through property underwriting and making sure that's a good deal for you.
Okay.
So once we get the property, the sales contract on the property and the rehab budget, we send it off to a third-party appraiser, and that appraiser is going to appraise the property for the ARV.
Gotcha.
And that's going to pretty much determine if we're going to do the deal or not. And then once we come back with that value, we'll send it to closing to whatever title company or attorney that you want to use.
Perfect. Okay, that makes total sense. Now, is there a possibility? Let's say I know I'm gonna be doing multiple deals. Is it possible for me to actually be approved before I have a deal under contract, just so that I don't have to worry about going through that process?
Yeah, so your approval is good for 6 months with us. We don't have to pull credit for 6 months. So we have to pull credit every 180 days to make sure that you haven't filed for bankruptcy or anything like that. So your approval is good for 6 months. And we can apply online, get you pre-approved, so that way you know, hey, based upon my financial standing, I buy properties within the 100, 200 range, 200, 300 range, and you can do multiple deals at a time. So if you want to buy 2 properties, 50,000, you got to put 20 in them, and you have enough money to do that, then you can definitely do that.
Awesome. I love it. Now we have 2 more questions. The first question that came on the line is, do you loan on multifamily and commercial deals?
I may get in trouble with this with my boss. Right now, we do not lend on multifamily commercial right now. We do have a multifamily product in the works, and we're probably looking at that maybe early second quarter of next year to be able to launch that to the public.
Second quarter next year. Okay. So Tony, not right now, but second quarter of next year. And then also the next question was, how much does it cost for the appraisal to be done?
It depends on where you're at in the area your property is, but I would say between $400 to $500.
$400 to $500. Okay, perfect. Let me see if we have any more questions from the audience. Now, I do have a question. Oh, here we go. Can an entity apply for a loan, or does it have to be a person?
So the entity is going to be, you're going to close the loan in your entity name, but the person has to qualify. You as an individual have to qualify for the loan. So we're going to underwrite you personally. So we're going to look at your personal tax returns. We're going to look that you personally have the money yourself or it inside of the entity. And we're going to make sure you personally have the credit score as well.
Got it. Okay, awesome. And then Courtney, also, how can they stay in contact with you, or what's the best way for them to, get that relationship developed with your company so that we can start getting some deals done?
Okay, you ready? I'm going to give you all the contact information.
Yes, we are ready.
My name is Courtney, Courtney. I know my mom was being difficult. She didn't put a U in Courtney. It's Courtney without a U. Courtney. My last name is Newmans, Newmans. My email is Courtney, Courtney, at Lima1Capital.com. Once again, that's Courtney, Courtney, at Lima1Capital.com. My cell phone number is 404-824-6121.
And can you repeat that one more time?
404 824 6121.
Okay.
And we do have our company Instagram and Twitter. It's just Lima One Capital. So you can find us at Lima One Capital and at Lima One Capital on Twitter and Instagram. and my personal Instagram is CNEW37. So it's at CNEW37.
CNEW37. And then they asked for the telephone number one more time. I think the middle 3 numbers they couldn't hear.
Okay, it's 404 824 6121.
Okay, 404-824-6121.
Correct.
Awesome. Okay. Well, thank you so much, Courtney. I'm not going to take up too much more of your time, but guys, you got the brief synopsis. Yes, Eddie, there you go. So you better screenshot that for whoever is on the line for Courtney's information, but we definitely appreciate it again. For all the investors who are on the line who are looking to do their first or you have some wholesale deals that you're looking to get approved, definitely Lima One Capital, they are the people to get you going. If you don't necessarily have all the requirements that they're looking for, like Courtney said, you can partner up with somebody. You don't always have to do it yourself. This is not DIY or whatever, however you say it. This is not the time for that. You want to make sure that when you're doing your deals, you are getting them done. This is about building a business and building wealth. She said, this is not our question, but our team is a customer of Lima One Capital, and we are very satisfied. Okay, awesome, Tamika. I didn't even know that. I have to talk to you on the side about that. But Tamika actually is one of our mastermind students, so they are already rocking and rolling on. Tamika, is this deal 1 or 2, the second rehab that you guys are doing? I'll wait for you to put that back in there. But once again, thank you guys so much for tuning in. We really do appreciate it. If you didn't get the information from Courtney, make sure that you go back and get all the details. This was just a really brief interview. I know sometimes we can get very lengthy, but we just wanted to highlight one of our sponsors just so that you got a picture of some of the people that we have within our arsenal. And Tamika said Lima is working with us on our second deal. Awesome. I didn't even know you guys were on deal number 2, but okay, we'll talk about that later. So for those of you who have not, make sure you go onto therealdealmeetup.com and RSVP for our next upcoming meeting. Of course, we are the 4th Saturday of each and every month. I see Rise Up Josh just joined in. Make sure that you go back and replay the interview from the beginning because we are actually about to close out. But I appreciate everyone, and on behalf of Charles Ware, the mad scientist himself, and the Real Deal community, we want to thank you guys again, and I am signing out. I will see you next Thursday. See you guys.